Okay, folks, let's see if we get a reverb here on the audio. I have a little audio issue, still working on that. And there it goes. Sorry. 1 second, guys. Okay, that should fix it. If you're having any audio issues, just let me know in the stream, in the chat, which I'm about to pull up. Hey, Delta War 567, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. I really appreciate it. I don't know if anybody got to see the alert. Let's try the new alert. It's so cool. Play it again. That's not the one, but thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate the subscription, supporting the channel. Really appreciate that. And thanks for tuning in, folks, tonight. We have 17 days. So it's getting real here. And I was just checking the Discord audio too. By the way, guys, I'm in voice channel as well in the Discord. So if you want to join the stream and chat, feel free to do so. It may not actually work tonight, but text chat is working. I got to play with the sound this weekend. I'm going to mess with the sound and figure out what's going on with the I Show You audio capture on the Mac issue I've been working with. But anyway, let's talk networking. First of all, wallpaper of the day. This was the Falcon 9 launch on Monday from Vandenberg. I think that's right, Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. Oh, boo. Well, not boo. I mean, I'm glad to see SpaceX. They're probably having issues with launch pad space, right? And competition for leases and all that. But anyway, they did shoot this rocket off, and some great shots there from their Flickr site. So let's talk networking, folks. Man, I've been really amazed at some people who've been passing their CCIEs lately. Several people I know from, or they're in the Router Gods group, or I know from other, I think all of them are from the Router Gods group, but I won't list them all here, but I think there have been 3 or 4 here in the last couple of weeks. It's interesting, the timing too. I doubt it's I imagine it's coincidental, the timing being close to Cisco Live, or being that it's the start of summertime, or going to be summertime soon. I don't know, but I think it's great that these folks have passed. Not all routing and switching, several routing and switching. Several of them are Cisco employees, but still, I think it's just awesome. It's encouraging to me. And one of the posts today, the meat chunks, is from the CCIE security networknode.com. I'll go ahead and talk about this. Yeah, so this is Catherine McNamara. She just passed. She just got her second CCIE. And she posted this excellent blog outlining the cost. And so if you look down here, the total cost that $17,200 for the security. Granted, this is her second. So the first one is CCIE Data Center. She commented this one is more expensive. But you see a lot of these are lab fees and, of course, some video courses. The CCIE security is not as well defined. Hey, show, how's it going? Good to have you on the stream, my friend. Oh, I see you in the chat. You know what? I'm going to try something. I've had an audio issue, so I don't know. You may not be chatting. That's totally cool. Okay, I don't know if you... Yeah, you probably can't hear that. I can hear it in my headphones now, but... 10,000 in boot camps. Okay, that's... Yeah, I think Catherine also had a boot camp mentioned in there. She took Quarbut's boot camp. I think there was another one too. I read through all this, guys, and this is great. I planned imitation, is the greatest compliment, right? So I'm sure that when I'm finished, I'll probably do the same. That was all access pass. Okay, not a course. Lab attempts, or 2 lab attempts, and travel, of course, has to be factored in. I love cool how she has like even the screenshots showing Udemy courses, Zero to Hero Security, 3,500. That was a course. I just don't know that there are as many. I know that there are boot camps offered for CCI security. I think INE has one. But, you know, each boot camp's around 4.5K. Yeah, Delta War. It was, it's not cheap. So, yeah, fascinating read though, guys. I would check it out. Gives you an idea. I'm trying to figure out how much I've spent so far, and I'm not even going to try to I'm not even going to try to round it out right now. I did do a budget prior to starting this process to try to get some sponsorship, and that didn't really go through, but at least I had an idea beforehand about how much I would be spending initially for the CCIE. All right, I'm going to have to back out of the voice chat. What you guys don't realize is that the audio is like reverbing in my ear here. Okay, that should take care of it. Sorry for the technical issues interrupting the flow here, but yeah, it's definitely expensive, you know, and there have been arguments. I've seen blogs, I've seen discussions about it. Is it even worth it? You know, comparing that to like a college degree or what the potential boost to your career is. And there's there's disagreements about that, but I think, you know, even if you don't get a promotion right away, or you don't get a different job right away, or you don't get a salary boost right away, you know, what you get from the CCIE is, first of all, your confidence. My confidence has definitely improved in what I know. Still pretty cheaper than a degree from Harvard. That's right. Hey, that's one of our Dougisms. Good quote show. Show was talking about, I've not yet met Doug Kenline. I hope to one day in the future. Me, good old Doug. He's been around the channel a while, but we're getting some Dougisms in the channel. And, you know, that's a great idea for some emotes. You know, there's some good emote ideas I come up with. It is still cheaper than a degree. Of course, if you take into consideration like a 6-time CCIE or 5-time, it's still probably cheaper than Harvard, but not cheaper than a regular degree. But still, the CCIE is valuable in what it does for your career, what it does for potential leads on other opportunities in the field. And of course, it just opens up a lot of doors that you can't necessarily put a direct monetary value on like you can for the costs of the CCIE. And one thing about Catherine's blog, and it's so different, I was talking about this earlier, the route switch path, the CCIE routing switching is, you know, the most off-tread path. So it's a much clearer path for people who want to start the CCIE routing and switching. Whereas the security path, the range of materials that are available, the type of materials, I would say some of the quality, is different. I think it's probably more of a struggle to get the CCIE security than the CCIE routing and switching. Notwithstanding, you know, your background or what your existing knowledge of those fields, but just the sheer educational lab materials, etc. It's staggering to think about. Hey, Mentors is on. Great to have you, my friend. Good to see you here today on a Thursday night, Friday Eve, as it is. But yeah, one thing I found interesting about her blog too is she talked about her gear, and that's one thing that, you know, I feel kind of spoiled working on routing and switching because of nowadays how easy it is to set up your lab and to do some of these routing and switching labs versus what it requires for someone doing data center. You know, a Nexus, Viral has made it a little easier, I think, providing the Nexus licenses, but I don't know, some of the feature sets, a lot of people I know are using physical gear to do those still. And she talked about that as well in her blog, and where I think she had a very ingenious approach. She needed a lot of physical gear, physical racks. So what she comments on there is that instead of putting it at her home with the electrical costs and the heat and the noise, she rented or used some co-op space in a data center. She basically rented some space and found another student who also wanted to do the same, and they shared the cost of renting a space and put her gear there. So, you got to be creative sometimes in what you want to do to get your labs going. But obviously, just like routing and switching, you got a lab. You got to be able to lab. Really good stuff, guys. So I'm really excited to see the new CCIEs coming in. Dustin Schumann is another one, and there are two others so I'm not as familiar with. But Delta War, I was thinking of putting it up in AWS. Not sure how much the cost would be. That's interesting you mentioned that, and I want to address this for myself as well sometime in the future, because I am going to be doing labs that are too large for my computer, my system. So I'm going to either have to buy more hardware, or I'm going to have to do it in the cloud where it's unlimited, right? But there is obviously a cost to it. So I've been tossing that around. I may kind of scope that out as well. I'd be happy to see what you find out about that. That's why I really enjoyed the article on Google, because let's find that link real quick. Mentors cloud service prices come down quite a bit. Economically affordable, most def. Yeah, it is definitely. There's definitely a lot more competition as well. Let's look at that link that was on. Yeah, this is someone who is using Google Compute Engine. And one thing I think that was somewhat remarkable on using Google Compute Engine is the fact that, and I could be wrong, but someone commented on Google, you can shut down your machines and not be charged when they're shut down. I know that's the case with Azure too. I do work in Azure. I'm not an Azure expert by any means, but you can set a policy in Azure to also shut down your virtual machines when you're not using them at certain times automatically, or you can do it manually. So when you factor that in, that you don't have to have the lab running all the time. Granted, maybe in a weekend you might be labbing for 10 or 20 hours, but it's there. You turn it on. So I had not really thought about that, and that really makes labbing in the cloud more attractive to me, and so it's something to explore for sure. It'd be interesting to see what you guys come up with. So that was a good link. I definitely checked that. That's from yesterday's agenda. That's out on Google Drive, or you can see it on the YouTube channel, or here in the videos on Twitch. But yeah, I'm happy. New CCIEs just makes me joyous inside. DigitalOcean has some nice price points as well. That's a good point, mentors, because I think EvenG, as a matter of fact, if you go to EvenG's website, they sort of where is it? They have features. Maybe it's on the frequently asked questions. Yeah, I don't see it right away, but they definitely do advocate a solution on the cloud too. So yeah, definitely an option for a lot of people, because that's one reason why, when I was labbing for the CCNA and maybe the CCNP, I was still doing some with physical hard, especially the switching exam. Yeah, the switching exam, I use physical switches. And those things are loud, especially when they boot up, even the small switches. And they generate a lot of noise, they generate a lot of heat. If you are streaming, if you're in the same room, So yeah, I'm just glad there's so many options for the routing and switching. Let's talk BOSON exam features, guys. This was interesting to me yesterday. Sometimes, I'll fire up BOSON and just hit 2 or 3 questions during a break or something like that, or a lunch break. And I noticed at the top that when I started the exam that it said question 2 of 63. I was like, what is going on? I don't normally select 100 questions at 120 minutes. Why is it telling me 63? And I figured it out. So at least I think I did. When you enable smart mode, which I've been running now for the past 3 or 4 times, once you get a question right 3 times, it stops asking you those questions, that question. So I think what has happened is, of the 400, I think it is, of the 400 available questions, there are only 63 that I have not gotten correctly 3 times. I'm assuming that's what the answer is. I'm assuming that may be why I failed the last time. Now, last time I did it, it was 100. Hey, thanks, Show. I feel pretty good about that. At first, I was like, what is going on? What's wrong with my software? And why is this last exam so hard? The one I just, the last one that I failed. And now I think I may have figured part of that out. I am on the very bottom. Definitely, when you're drinking, like I just made a cup of coffee, right? And sometimes your cup of coffee at the very bottom, is where some of the sugar is. Or if you're having a mixed drink, if they don't make your rum and Coke right, when you get to the bottom, a lot of the rum is down there at the bottom. So I think I'm at the bottom of the really tough questions that I'm struggling on, which is... It was encouraging because, after the last one, I got a little discouraged. Like, man, I really had a tough time on this test. Well, no wonder. It has picked all the ones that I'm struggling with. And yes, agreed, you're narrowing the question down. So I feel good about that, discovered that, and I thought to myself, man, I need to make sure next time that I may have to turn this off to do a valid 100-question exam. But just be sure you see those settings there. Also, I do, one thing I noticed is you can take your time. If you're doing a timed exam with 100 questions, for example, and you have this show answers and explanations when I choose show answer. So I've been doing that, and I notice when you select show answer, the clock stops. So if you hit something that just throws you off, you click show answer, your timer stops, then you can go down, click on the links, study that as you go. So the more I use this tool, the more I love it for the CCIE written. It's awesome. So these, I think I studied last couple days. I really focused on policing, and I feel like I will pass those questions the next time I hit them. At least I think I will. As you can see here, I've got single rate 2 color, single rate 3 color, 2 rate 3 color, how you identify those, the CIR, PIR options. Also added, there's another very important aspect of policing. See if I can find it here. There's a command. Maybe I didn't put it in here yet. There's so many, guys. This got me too. EVC, Ethernet Virtual Circuit. What protocols are required, which are supported and which are not supported. I missed that. I've worked on that. I think I'll get that next time. Yeah, I'm not finding the command right away, but good stuff. I'm feeling a lot better about that. Hey, thank you, Delta War. It is linked below, by the way, in my Twitch profile. It is Google Drive share here. So I've got a lot of tools that, I share them with the community, tools that I make or come up with. The great thing about this drill sheet is the ability, and others have made their own as well, is you fill out, you download the spreadsheet to Excel, and you just start filling out the yellow boxes. Then when you're done, you flip to answers. All you got to do is you kind of have to line up your cell, right? A1 and A1. And then you do drills, answers. You could do on Windows PC, it's Control Page Up, I think, or something like that. But yeah, there's other good stuff out there you might find useful. So I'm moving on from policing, and I am looking at now anycast, AutoRP, and msdp, multicast source discovery protocol. So I'm going to be working on those tonight, tomorrow, and this weekend. And this weekend, my plan is to, at least on Saturday, thankfully it's a 3-day weekend here in the US, so, which I have off, and I'm not on call Monday, so I'm going to be doing the full BOSON exam probably once on Saturday and once on Sunday again. And then if I get down to the very bottom of the barrel on BOSON, it becomes sort of counterproductive to keep taking those same questions. So I will be doing probably flashcards after that. 3 full days of study. I hope so, man. I actually have some engagements Saturday. We got a family engagement that's going to, take probably half the day. And we both, we've agreed here at the Land Tamer Homestead that we definitely need a little bit of a break. So Monday we may go see the new Solo movie. Along with probably half the population, but yeah, we'll probably do that, go to matinee or something like that. But yeah, just enjoy ourselves. My wife has been studying a lot as well. She's taken a course. It's not networking, but yeah, that's true. If I do take a break, it's going to be very brief. We're talking a few hours on the weekend. Very true. I'm definitely so honed in right now that I'm going to be staying up late. I will still vlog, guys, on Saturday and Sunday. We'll probably do like around noon or so. I'll do a brief vlog, just to update you guys and do a sanity check. Mentor's cool idea, creating a bot with your Excel questions for the community and other questions and for other certs. Yeah, man. The bots are taking over. We like our bots, though. We like their bots when they work for us. Appreciate that, though, my friend. But that's basically all I got now in terms of where I'm at and what I'm doing. I did want to share another meat chunk, and that is, we have a celebrity blogger amongst us here in the chat, Show IP Interface Brief, and he has done this BGP Lab Challenge, which has created a nice little stir here in the Land Tamer Discord server, which is great, man. I love it. And I see this as a foreshadowing of things to come. But definitely check out his challenge. He's got a video there as well, which I've not watched. Because if I feel inclined, I may, and like I said, I'm a good skimmer, so I'm not seeing your solution. That's all right, man. But yeah, definitely check it out, guys. This is, I would say, when you say show, this is CCIE level. It doesn't mean that if you're doing, for the CCNP, I think it touches on BGP, but you don't really do any BGP from what I remember. I could be wrong. You may have some questions about it. So this is really CCIE level, but, even if you're doing CCNP, you may find it very helpful because at some point you will be doing BGP. Tonight I'm going to update BGP challenge with the more accurate answer. Interesting. My solution and the other solution are both using methods I've only seen in CCIE. Right. Love me some BGP, man. Me too. Not CCNP level. Yeah. Had to look at the challenge as well. Great job. Yes. That's what I've been hearing. We're hearing great feedback. And obviously that shows that we definitely want more, of course. So I'm looking forward to Show and the others putting out some more challenges. It's great stuff. It's great learning opportunities. And when you say the more accurate answer, I'm curious about that show, because I think you kind of gave us a hint Tuesday night during the meetup. I feel like maybe you gave us a hint. And then there's a way that I'm thinking that will work. And then I understand from Twitter somewhere, or I saw that, someone else even provided a different way, which really shows on these challenges that there's quite often more than one way to skin a cat, especially with BGP. So which is the best way? That's hard to say, right? Really, in the lab exam, the best way is probably the fastest, the least complicated, and the one that passes the lab checker script, right? So I'll explain in my video I make tonight how the more accurate answer was derived. That's awesome. It's an awesome show. Appreciate the great content, man. And thanks to everyone else. I think we're going to cut it short here, and I'm going to get on to putting the axe to the grindstone, and I know you guys will too. Guys and gals, thanks so much for joining here tonight. Thanks again for that sub, Delta War. I really appreciate it, my friend. And I hope you all have a good night. We shall see you Saturday here on the Land Tamer stream, and we'll see you at all times in the Discord server. Have a great night, folks. Thanks for stopping by.